Welcome to the Royal Calcutta Turf Club for the Calcutta Races Autumn Meeting third day, Thursday 6th November 2025 race preview. First race of the day is the Lock Cleveland Handicap for horses rated 1 to 26 to be ridden by jockeys of Indian nationality to be run over a distance of about 1400 meters. First runner we are looking at is Hermod as the run from Bangalore summer season, where Hermod, who is the son of French Navy out of Romania, went over a mile. Was on a start to finish mission, as you can see in the famous colors of Cherry Sports. Then into the last 200 meters started to raise the white flag, eventually dropped back to 7 spots, 7 out of 7. The mount of Anthony Raj once again. Couple of runners we're looking at. This is from race number 6 in the current season, where we had Jimmy B and Fortune Warrior. Jimmy B, who was racing in 11th spot into the home straight, then made up a placing, and Jimmy B incidentally was a little slow into stride and finished on 10th of 13 runner. Fortune Warrior, who was racing in 12th spot, also made up a placing and eventually finished on 11th. The winner here was Kerry Gold. Couple of runners, we got I Smell the Danger, Dubai Prince. This is from the monsoon season, where I Smell the Danger had 4 starts. The best start was perhaps in race number 39, which was the penultimate start for I Smell the Danger over here after being in 7th spot. This is from race number 53. I Smell the Danger dropped back couple of places, finished on 9th of 11 runners, and 7th Dubai Prince, who also had 4 starts during the season, was slow out couple of times in this race, also finished on 10th of 11 runners. For Amalfitana, 8 Lahina. This is from race number 2 in the current season, where Amalfitana was slow into stride, was brushed up, then took charge into the last 200 meters, started to drop back, eventually finished on 4th. And Lahina, who was in 8th spot at the home bend and made up a placing and eventually finished on 7th of 8 runners. The winner here was Dancing Queen. Six is Schwarzenegger, earlier known as Malaga. This is the current season first race, where Schwarzenegger was in 5th spot when Asran referred, as you can see in the grey and black sleeves, started to make a move and eventually finished on 4th of 7 runners. The winner here was Jamaica. Second race of the day is the Alorets Cup for horses rated 41 to 66, rated 21 to 46, eligible to be run over a distance of about 1400 meters. First, we are looking at 3 runners. That's Sea Smoke, Norwegian Wood, and Victorious Omen. Sea Smoke, who had a start in the season, the solitary start, where took the turn in 6th spot, then finished on 9th. Norwegian Wood, who had 3 starts in the season. Penultimate start for Norwegian Wood was perhaps a better one, where finished on 3rd after being slow out of the gates. Over here, Norwegian Wood finished on 8th. Victorious Omen was a winner of earlier start in race number 50. Over here, Victorious Omen, after being in 7th spot for most while, made up a couple of placings, eventually finished on 5th of 11 runners. Is Gold Empire. Speaking of which, out of Goldie's pet is Gold Empire. Couple of stars during the Calcutta monsoon season, finished on 4th in the Coldstral Stakes, and then in the Derby was in 10th spot, then started to make some late improvements and really started to come up with a run and eventually filled up the frame, finished on 4th of 12 runners. The winner here was Hart. 4 is Victoria Cross. Victoria Cross won back-to-back races, one in Bangalore summer, one after coming back to Calcutta during the monsoon season. Then in the Coldstral Stakes was in 4th spot, then started to make up a move on the outside, but Fantazi had a long lead and Victoria Cross did the next best thing, finished on 2nd. Today the mount of C. Umesh. 5 is Polka Dot. Polka Dot had 3 stars during the Calcutta monsoon season, a win on either side of the Phillies Trial Stakes, where Polka Dot finished on 4th. This start is from race number 62, where went over 1600 meters. Just look at the ease with which Calcutta won this race. Eventually had 2.5 lengths to spare over Paulet Warrior. Wonderful had 3 stars during the Calcutta monsoon season. We are looking at the penultimate start for Wonderful for administrative reasons. This is from race number 9, where Wonderful went over 1400 meters, was in 7th spot, then finished on 4th. The next start that Wonderful had, which we are unable to show you, it was in race number 25, went over 1400 meters, finished on 2nd to Enola Holmes. Third race of the day is the Crystal Man Handicap for horses rated 61 to 86, rated 41 to 66, eligible to be run over a distance of about 1400 meters. 3 runners. This is from race number 59. Bharat, the second start for Bharat after coming down from Bangalore, 5th in an earlier start over here. Bharat was in 7th spot. Did not make much improvement, finished on 7th. 3 Abhushan. Abhushan had a solitary start in the monsoon season where Abhushan was in 10th spot, did not really make any further inroads, finished on 10th. Roman Spirit, who had 3 stars during the Calcutta monsoon season, a better start was the penultimate start where Roman Spirit finished on 3rd behind Misty. Over here, Roman Spirit finished on 6th. The winner was King Louis. 2 is La Dominate, who had 3 stars during the Calcutta monsoon season, a 5th placed effort to start the season. Then in race number 28, finished on 8th, and that was over 1200 meters. Last start for La Dominate was on race number 51, over 1200 meters, was in 9th spot, made up a few placing, and eventually finished on 6th. The winner here was Misty. 4 is Watch My Stride. Watch My Stride is by What's the Script out of Flamingo Fan. A start during the current season where Watch My Script was in 5th spot. This is over 1600 meters in race number 5, and eventually Watch My Stride finished on 5th of 5. The winner here was Natural Grace, who won it in a 3-way finish. 5 is Zuri. Zuri is by Win Legend out of Montvirat. What a start this was for Zuri during the Calcutta monsoon season, and this was in race number 58. She went over 1400 meters, was in 3rd spot. Then when given the go, Zuri started to accelerate, eventually won the race by 2 3/4 of a length over Mystical Dancer. 7 is Celtic Harlequin. A very decent season for Celtic Harlequin was the monsoon season where 2 wins from race number 13 and race number 14. Then the last start, Celtic Harlequin went over 1100 meters, was in 9th spot. The usual acceleration which we have known from Celtic Harlequin did not really come forward. Eventually beat another one home, finished on 8th of 12 runners. The winner here was Lord Vader. 8 is Tycoonist, who's by Multidimensional out of Victoria Falls. 3 stars during the Calcutta monsoon season, unplaced there, and a start in the current season, that was in race number 4, where Tycoonist was racing in 7th spot and then asked for an effort, did not really accelerate, was caught up towards the inside, eventually finished close up 7th. 4th race of the day is the Cherry Handicap for horses rated 21 to 46, rated 1 to 26, eligible to be ridden by jockeys of Indian nationality, to be run over a distance of about 1600 meters. First up, we got Cortado and Togo. Cortado won our race in race number 2, then finished on 3rd in the Coldstral Stakes, and the Derby was racing in 9th spot, then made up a couple of placings, eventually finished on 7th. Togo, who won a race in race number 14, then in the Derby, Togo was racing in 7th spot, made up a placing and eventually finished on 6th. Togo is the mount of ROLJH, and Cortado to be guided by Anthony Rajes. 2 saw 5 Cool Daddy. They ran against each other in race number 63. This was 2 Saw's 3rd start of the season. Earlier 2 starts was unplaced over here. 2 Saw, after being in 4th spot for most while, In the last 200 meters, dropped back a place, eventually finished on 5th. 5 Cool Daddy, who was a shock winner in race number 32, got the measure of Global Fashion, who subsequently won. Then finished on 2nd to the Calcutta Monsoon Derby winner Hart. Last start was in race number 63, where Cool Daddy managed to finish on 4th. This was a start over 1600 meters. 3 Voice of Dreams, 6 Sporting Trainer. They ran in the current season in race number 3, where Voice of a Dream was in 8th spot after being a little slow out of the gates. Then made up a placing and eventually finished on 7th. And 6 Sporting Trainer, who has been very consistent, has been placing or hitting the board, did the same thing here, finished on 4th after being in 6th spot for most while. The winner here was Dance Along. Seven is Veneno. Veneno had a start in race number 26 in the monsoon season. Was scheduled to start a couple of times but was withdrawn. This start, Veneno went over 2000 meters, was in 3rd spot until the last 250 meters, where despite the jockey's best effort, tried to drop back, eventually finished on last of 6 runners to Goodwill. Next up, we got 8 Lamika, who's by excellent art out of Chase the Sun. Lamika has had couple of starts during the Bangalore season. One was in the Bangalore winter, one was the Bangalore summer. We are looking at a run from Bangalore summer, where in race number 158 went over 1400 meters. Lamika was in a forward position until the last 100 meters, where it was overtaken and eventually finished on 4th of 9 runners. The winner was Unforgettable Star. Moving on to the 5th race of the day, the standoff handicap for horses rated 21 to 46, rated 1 to 26, eligible to be ridden by jockeys of Indian nationality, to be run over a distance of about 1200 meters. First up, we're looking at Impressive Annie, who had 3 starts during the monsoon season. A 4th place effort in race number 3, then in race number 19 finished on 5th. Last start was in race number 38, where Impressive Annie was in 6th spot at the turn, then started to make some late inroads and eventually finished on 2nd to Trillionaire. Impressive Annie once again the mount of R.S. Bhatti and is drawn 7. 3 Honey Cake, 6 Cashmere Silk. Honey Cake, this is in the current season, where Honey Cake in race number 6 was racing in 5th spot, as you can see towards the rail side, then dropped back, eventually finished on 2nd last. And Cashmere Silk, who was racing in 9th spot, eventually made up a few placings and finished on 6th of 13 runners. The winner here was Kerry Gold. 5 Lavish Girl, who had 4 starts during the monsoon season, a 3rd placed effort in the first start that Lavish Girl had, subsequently 3 unplaced effort, including the last start that she had, where she was slow into stride, took the turn in 10th spot, then eventually finished on 8th. This was in race number 48 over 1100 meters. The winner here was City of Joy, who got the race by a neck. Seven is Rocket. The run we are looking at is from the Calcutta monsoon season. Rocket was scheduled to start in race number 6, but was withdrawn as there was no suitable substitute jockey available. Rocket in race number 63 in the monsoon season was racing in 7th spot, eventually finished on 7th. Couple of runners, 8 John Lafitte, 11 Epic Play. This from race number 3 in the current season, where John Lafitte took the turn in 4th spot, then came up with the run and got into place money. 11 Epic Play, who was leading the pack, but then into the last 200 meters or so started to really drop back, eventually finished on 6th. The winner here was Dance Along. Nine is Oh My Sweetheart. Oh My Sweetheart had a couple of stars during the Calcutta monsoon season. First start was planted at the gate, that was in race number 19. Last start was slow into stride, took the turn in 6th spot, then made a couple of placings and eventually finished on 4th of 8 runners. The winner here was Don't Stop the Music. 10 is Dancing Queen. Dancing Queen has been really consistent, has been placing or coming very close to it. Last start was in the current season in race number 2, where Dancing Queen stalked the leader and then took charge into the last 150 meters, and there was no looking back. Dancing Queen eventually had a 3 1/4 lengths lead to Soul Aquarium, who was trying to late in roads, but Dancing Queen had this race sewn up. 12 is Infinia. Infinia has had all her starts in Hyderabad. The start we are looking at is from Hyderabad monsoon season, where Infinia was slow into stride. This is in race number 49 there. Then took the turn in 10th spot, made some late gains, eventually finished on 7th out of 14 runners. And Infinia today the mount of Hindu Singh and drawn 13. 13 Happy Morning. This was in Calcutta monsoon season on Derby Day. Happy Morning. This was race number 53, where Happy Morning made every poster, winning one and staved off the late challenge of Epic Play. Eventually had a length and a half to spare. Happy Morning today drawn 14, the mount of Arman Khan. 14 is Memphis, who had 3 stars during the monsoon season. 8th in race number 19 over 1200 meters. Again went over 1200 meters in race number 38 and again finished on 8th, and went over 1100 meters in race number 49. The one we are looking at here, Memphis, after being in 4th spot for backup place, eventually finished on 5th of 9 runners. The winner was Bundle of Charm. We move on to the 6th and feature race of the afternoon, the Hilliard Cup, for horses rated 81 and above, rated 61 to 86 eligible, to be run over a distance of about 1200 meters. First up, we got 3 runners. This is Black Eagle, King's Retreat, Clifford. This is from race number 54. The Black Eagle went to the front and staved off the challenge of Clifford. Eventually had 3 lengths to spare. King's Retreat, who was racing in patches, eventually finished on 5th, and Clifford was in 2nd spot and chased the leader all the way home and finished on 2nd. Buckley had a solitary start during the monsoon season. That was in race number 13. Buckley was slow into stride, then was in 6th spot at the bend, and then made up a placing, finished on 5th of 8 runners. The winner here was Troila, who had a 5 lengths lead over the 2nd place slot. Buckley, the mount of Arbhaiva, and drawn 1 today. 5 is Misty. Misty came down from Pune, a start during the monsoon season, and what a start this was for Misty. Was in 2nd spot when asked for an effort, started to accelerate and staved off the challenge of Matangi, who was really coming on the outside, and eventually had a long leg to spare over Matangi. Misty today the mount of Hindu Singh and drawn 3. We move on to the 7th race of the day, the last race of the day, the Star Perfection Handicap, for horses rated 41 to 66, rated 21 to 46 eligible, to be ridden by jockeys of Indian nationality, to be run over a distance of about 1200 meters. First up, you're looking at Fantasy Western Aristocrat out of Wave Van, and what a revelation this horse has been. Won all but one start so far. Couple of stars during the monsoon season. First up, went over 1100 meters and won the monsoon sprint, and then in race number 42, that was a big one, the Coles Trial Stakes, made every post a winning one. 2 is Cat Whiskers, had a decent monsoon season, a 2nd placed effort to start the season, then an unplaced effort in race number 18, and the last start was in 4th spot. This was on race number 45, where Cat Whiskers went over 1200 meters and then eventually took charge into the last 100 meters and won the race by 2 1/4 lengths. 3 is Salome. Salome is by Win Legend out of Flight to Glory. 3 stars during the monsoon season, a 5th effort in the first 2 starts. That was in race number 18 and race number 30 respectively. The last start, the one we are looking at, Salome was in 9th spot and tried to weave a passage towards the inside, eventually finished on 4th. The winner here was Zuri. 4 is Dance Along. Dance Along has completed a back-to-back win, 1 win in the monsoon season, and this season started off with a win in race number 3, where Dance Along was in a handy 3rd until the home bend, then took over the running and eventually had 6 3/4 lengths to spare over Kitaro. 5 is Eleonora. Eleonora is by Litamore out of Nora. Eleonora has a couple of starts in the monsoon season, a 3rd place effort in the Phillies Trial Stakes. In the Derby, she was in 3rd spot, then when asked for an effort did not really stay, eventually finished on 9th of 12 runners. The winner here was Hart. Eleonora today the Mount of Yash Naredu. 6 is Into the Storm. Into the Storm has been very consistent, has been placing in most of his starts except one in the last 7 starts, 2 starts during the monsoon season, a 3rd placed effort in race number 18 behind King of Mafia. Then in race number 30, the one we are looking at, Into the Storm started to flourish home, but Madras Check had a very long lead and Into the Storm could only cut down the margin, eventually finished on 2nd by 3.5 lengths. We got 7 Gimla. Gimla raced in Bangalore during the summer season. Very decent season there. A 2nd placed effort to start the season there in race number 18. Then in race number 48 finished on 3rd to Muzzletop. Then 4th in race number 92 behind Star Concept. Then last start was slow into stride. Then took the turn in 6th spot. Then finished on 5th. That was in race number 117 behind Stravinsky. 8 is Trillionaire. Trillionaire had a decent monsoon season, a win and a couple of placed effort. This is the run from the current season where Trillionaire went to over 1100 meters, was in 8th spot. Then when asked for an effort, did not really accelerate, beat a few home and as you can see on the wide outside, and eventually finished on 5th of 11 runners. The winner was K-Star. Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen, for the back-to-back coverage that we have for Calcutta races.